Welcome to the Future of Real Estate. I'm Brett Ellis of the Ellis team at REMAX. I'm joined today by my mother, Sandy Ellis. If you haven't joined us before, you're in for a real treat. On this show, we talk about real estate issues affecting you. Today, we're going to start talking about something that actually broke news this last week, and we're going to get into median home prices because they've done something they haven't done in the last 5 years. They actually went up over the previous year. We've seen a downward spiral, so to speak, and then we're also going to talk about the number of home sales. So I want to bring Sandy in here because before we get to the numbers, we've been talking about probably about March of April of 2010. Don't be surprised if you start reading new headlines that say home prices are up. And where are we? We're in April, and we're using March official numbers that just came out.
That's correct.
So it's kind of fallen in line, but it's not rocket science. I mean,
we also said that about interest rates.
We said they'd be
also.
heading up, and they are heading up. So, and I don't know that it's we're so smart. It's just that we pay attention, and we really study this stuff. So, it helps when you pay attention.
Well, it does, and there's all kinds of indicators out there, and of course, some of the indicators that you've actually developed, I think, put us, a few feet ahead of everybody else in that regard too.
True, we do that, but there's a lot of realtors that actually pay attention, and there's some that don't. Same thing with mortgage people. Same thing with home inspectors. Same thing with any industry. But let's go through some of the numbers and let's kind of share with you why we came to this conclusion. And you'll see it up on screen here. Now, we created this new graph for people to see. Basically, if you look at the blue line here, this was last year. Now, we saw a fall off in March. So we knew it wasn't going to be hard to catch March numbers. That was one sign we thought this might happen. Also, look what happened in the latter half of 2009. We saw basically rising prices. Then they leveled off. And then they fell. We come over to 2010. They kind of fell a little bit in February, but they didn't have far to go. We knew if they even held steady, they were going to catch March. And in fact, what happened was they shot up kind of like we thought they would. So basically, right about here, about mid-February, we actually caught median sale prices from last year. Now, I don't think it takes a rocket scientist to see that coming. You could kind of see that the numbers were down last year and started heading up the second half of 2009. It didn't take a rocket scientist to realize we were going to catch probably about March or April. Right in here, I think was a pretty safe bet. So it's not like we really went on a limb, was it?
No, not at all. I think what's interesting though is that curve, because everybody is trying to analyze from an economic point of view what's going to happen to that curve next.
I think you're right about that. And like I said, it's not rocket science, but we just paid attention. Let me also go back to, and this, Sandy, this will be no surprise. I know you haven't seen this chart, but it's an old chart. I just threw in the new numbers here. We just got, March numbers, so we're able to complete the first quarter of 2010 just today. Now, the blue line is first quarter. Now, remember back, if you've watched this show before, or if you've read any of our articles, you'll notice that we talked about 2009 was a record year. Every single month, we set records in 2009. Look at these things. And 2009 first quarter was above the record year of 2005. Well, guess what, folks? 2010, we're still beating 2009 records. So we've got affordable home prices, and we've got record numbers here. I wouldn't be surprised to see quarter two and quarter three, even if they're not at this level. They may beat that level, they may not, but I think they're still going to be very high compared to previous years. And remember, everyone calls 2005 the boom. Now, I don't know why they call that the boom, because look what's happening here. You've got way higher home sales here. You've got home prices going up here. And remember, Sandy, back in 2005, was there really room for opportunity? You knew we had a correction coming. We were buying at sky-high prices. There was no affordability. There was no cash flow in the market. Converse that with today.
Well, I think the difference is the people were here, definitely. They were here in hordes. They were here willing to make an offer on anything.
In when, 05 or now?
In 2005. The people are still here, and we're still seeing a lot of sales.
But they weren't
there's
end
not
users.
quite the impetus.
They weren't end users.
They weren't the end users.
We have more
correct.
end users now, I think, and we have cash flow opportunities because an investor can actually buy and rent the property out and make money at today's prices. They could never do that back in 05.
They couldn't do it then. So they were basically flippers, or people who, and some of them were the kind of the last people that straggled in. They were the people that heard about the great deals at a cocktail party and decided if he can do that, I can do that.
Maybe
some were
2005
too
was
late.
the year of Flipper, and 2010 is the year of Gentle Ben or something.
Yeah, we
Because-
should have had them wearing hats or name tags that said Flipper. Or,
Yeah. Well, anyway, I think what we're saying is that there's much more opportunity now at these low prices. And,
I would say 2010 is a year of opportunity, definitely.
and what we're starting to see is, record home sales. We saw it in '08, built in '09. It's continuing in 2010. As these prices have dropped, people are more than interested in coming here and buying up either a second home, an investment home, or even a primary home.
And we've also seen the banks get real. I mean, maybe more than real, almost on some of their numbers. But 2010 is said to be the year of the short sale. It's when the banks are finally going to allow them to happen and cooperate with the realtors that are working on them so hard.
Well, you know who says it's the year of the short sale are people who are selling the short sale seminars. I think it's the year of the transaction. And it will either culminate in either a short sale or a foreclosure. And I think they're going to pursue both tracks simultaneously. Yes, we will see more short sales in 2010, but we're also going to see a fair amount of foreclosures coming down the pike in 2010.
Oh, there's a lot of foreclosures. But I think let's go to the end of the year, December 31st, 2010, and then we'll call what year it was. I'll say it's a short sale.
I think there's going to be more foreclosures than there were short sales in 2010. I'll bet you dinner on that one.
Okay.
Is
I'll
it-
take you up on that one. Okay.
Okay, you think there's going to be more short sale closed transactions than there are
No,
foreclosures?
I wouldn't say that. I would say the short sales are coming to life, though. Just the fact that they're happening. You have to
Oh.
realize that in the past, some of them took 6, 8, 10 months. Some went over a year.
Well, I'm not going to disagree with you on that because I
Okay.
think we
So
are
I think
going to
it's
see
gonna
more
change
short
that
sales.
market. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. We will see more short sales.
But I
But-
want the dinner.
I want the dinner.
Yeah. Well, I want you to pay for the dinner. We'll both have dinner.
That's the thing. As realtors,
Yeah.
we're doing a lot of short sales and foreclosures. We don't have any money
That's right.
because, these prices are way low. It's just, we're just working really hard. And, to all the realtors listening out there, I think they could sympathize.
I'm sure
Because
they would.
I talked to a realtor this last week. He said, Brett, I've never worked so hard in my life for so little money. It's just unbelievable. But that's just the market we're in.
Maybe we should get together with all the realtors and have dinner.
Should. But you know what? I think a lot of industries,
Have to be
it's tough right
donated.
now. We're on low profit margins. It doesn't matter if you're in the camper industry, if you're in the hotel industry. I'm sure there's a few out there that are doing well, but it's just tough out there. And we just got to get through it.
We have to get through it. Everybody's sharpening their pencils. Everybody's doing everything they know how to do. And the main thing is taking care of the customer and the client.
Well, the
You know,
good news
It's really not about us. It's about them.
the good news we can report on is this. We've got record home sales in terms of volume of transactions. We've got low prices. We've got low interest rates. And we've got rising prices now. I think a lot of buyers they've caught on to this, that one, it's a bargain, and two, prices are going up. The-
Interest rates are going up, but they're still phenomenal.
They're 5.25%. Even if they go to
fantastic.
5.5
so
or
get
6.
in there. Now is the time.
Now, the last piece of the leg we got to get going is employment, because if you don't have a job, it doesn't matter if prices are low. It doesn't matter if interest rates are low. You still need a job. So we got to get prices going. But check out our blog this week. Go to http://blog.topagent.com. That's blog.topagent.com. You can also find links to it from topagent.com. And we talk about how employment's going to help bring prices back, and that's ultimately what's going to be driver of this bus. Stay tuned. We're going to have another segment about our featured properties of the week. You can always find those, too, at topagent.com. You can search the entire MLS, take virtual tours of all our properties, but you're going to want to stay tuned and watch the featured hot properties of the week presented by the Ellis team at RE/MAX. You can always reach us at 239-489-4042, and don't forget our website, which is topagent.com.